Hey guys, my name is Wanda. Today I'm going to be coming to you with the Mixed Girl tag. So if you're not familiar with this tag, then the Mixed Girl tag is about 10 questions that are for mixed people or anybody who might be mixed race. And it's kind of just to I think it's an icebreaker for my YouTube channel. So I'm going to get right into that. So the first question is, what are you mixed with? So I'm mixed with black and white. That's what I tell people. However, my mom is Portuguese and Irish and my dad is black. I guess I want to one day do that little DNA testing because my grandmother, who's my dad's mom, it was actually adopted, so she never really knew what race she was. So let's just stick with black and white. What ethnicity have you been mistaken for? Now that's a big question because I have been mistaken for every ethnicity possible. So there are times, I'm in California, so I grew up in California, so there's been probably countless times where at 7-Eleven or somewhere just trying to buy something and someone might be standing outside speaking to me in Spanish. I don't know any Spanish, but pretty much I would say my whole life, my top thing that I was mistaken for was Mexican. So that's like the top one. And then of course when I was in Florida, I was mistaken for Puerto Rican or Dominican. I was also mistaken for just being completely white. Because I'm very light, so a lot of my friends, they would tell me, I'm lighter than you, you're not black, so yeah. I've also been mistaken for Indian. I've been mistaken for, I don't know, a lot of things. Is your hair curly or straight? Well, of course you can see that my hair is clearly curly. Was coming from different backgrounds challenging growing up? I would say yes and no. There's nothing that really depressed me or made me sad, but of course it was very challenging coming from different backgrounds. So my mom's side of the family, my mom's side of the family, a lot of times they actually discriminated against me and my siblings because we had black in us, and they treated us differently because of that. But my mom's side of the family, my mom's dad's side of the family, they were always very loving towards us. We never knew that we were another race. They never treated us any differently. Now when I was actually going in school from about kindergarten to 5th grade, I was in a predominantly white school. So of course it was challenging for me because I was never considered white. I was never really accepted into those groups. There was times when I would want to push my hair back just to make it look straight and try to fit in. I would change the way I talked. I was like, yes, my name is Becky. And I was just super trying to fit in. And then I moved in about 6th grade. We moved to a predominantly Mexican and black school, and that's where I felt I was accepted and people actually understood, except for of course there was a lot of discrimination because people felt like I wasn't black enough. So being black and white, it's always that battle between not being black enough for the black people, not being white enough for the white people. So meeting someone who was mixed was always we're about to be best friends. What background do you embrace the most? I actually don't embrace either the most. Growing up, I only knew my white family really. We never really were around my dad's side of the family until I was about 11. So growing up, really, I just, felt like I was white. I never really thought about skin tone, put it like that. And then when I met my dad's side of the family, there was really not a lot of cultural things that we have on that side either. Everybody's just normal, they're regular people. So I think that I just embrace me. I embrace my family. I love them all equally and they don't treat us differently. So have you ever been teased for being different? Yes. So when I was in 1st or 2nd grade, my mom, who's white, she would always do my hair, but she would be killing them hairstyles. My mom knew how to do hair, okay? So, but one day she was those little blue grease things that that people would use like the grease and stuff. So my mom had like this blue grease that she would use on our hair. It was either blue or green. So one day she ended up using the green grease on my hair, and there was this girl, like she had blonde hair, blue eyes or whatever, and she ended up like starting this big rumor on the bus telling everybody that I had slime on my hair and that I was like an alien or something. And I remember just crying so hard because I could not believe that this girl was like doing this to me. And I was like, man, I remember just regretting being mixed. I remember regretting having my type of hair, because I was like, if I had her hair, then I would never have to use grease, because my mom would always like lay my edges down, you know. And this girl just like made fun of me. She made me just regret being mixed. And she was like teasing me, you know, telling me like, just talking about my hair and everything. And I just felt like super duper embarrassed and nervous about that. So I mean, I guess that's a time that I've been teased for being different. Have you ever been ashamed of being multiracial? So I would actually have to say no. I've never really been ashamed of being multiracial. I've always kind of like just went with the flow. I can't remember a time when I was like, ooh, I wish that I was just all white, or ooh, I just wish that I was all black. Or I mean, may have been times that I wished that, but I don't remember being ashamed, like, oh my gosh, you know, just like whatever. I don't remember being ashamed of being multiracial. So I'll have to say no. Do you feel like being mixed has its benefits? I would say that yes and no. Like being mixed, I've never really gotten any special treatment. I mean, I remember going somewhere and like people in Hollywood or whatever would say, hey, you should be a model because, you know, you could act any part. Because, you know, if I straighten my hair, I look just completely another race. I look different. If I don't have bangs, if my hair is in a different way, if it's in a ponytail or a bun, you know, I look different regardless. So I guess that with my skin tone, I could play multiple characters. So maybe that's a benefit. But as far as like in society, I don't think there's really any benefit, because in America, if you have 1% of black blood in you, you're black. So the black treatment still happens to me to this day. And most of us have actually probably dealt with discrimination within our family. So I would say that no, really, it doesn't really have any benefits. But I mean, if you look on the bright side of being mixed, then yes, it has benefits from my perspective as looking in the mirror, you know, because I love who I am. I'm sorry if that was all over the place, but yeah. What makes being multiracial a beautiful thing? I think that a beautiful thing about being multiracial is that you have two different perspectives that you can come from. So, for instance, my husband visited my grandma and grandpa. We visited there probably like on the 4th of July. So when we visited there, that was like his first time actually seeing, like being around all white people. And for him, like he grew up in the South, so he's really only been discriminated against. And of course he's had white friends here and there, but his general perspective of white people was that they look at his skin tone. But my family, my mom's dad's side of the family is where we went. They loved my husband. They treated him so nicely. They didn't look at his skin tone. So I feel like it allowed him to see, you know, a different perspective of white people and of people that are not his race. And for me, I've always seen that. I've never been like discriminated by them. So it's a good perspective. But with them, they're like, you know, we go hiking and we do like all of this like fun stuff. We go, we've been canoeing, we've been kayaking. So that kind of brings a different perspective on life for me. Whereas my dad's side, they don't really do all of that. Like they're very loving, they're into church, you know, stuff like that. But they're not like super adventurous. I mean, there are black families who are adventurous. So I would say like that's really not a white thing, but for me that was a white thing, you know. So for me, I feel like the beautiful thing about being multiracial is that you get to learn two cultures and you get to love them equally. You get to be one in two cultures and you get to see two sides. The last thing the last question is advice to someone who struggles with multiracial identity. So if you are struggling with being multiracial, I would just say embrace who you are and love who you are. and change your perspective. Whatever it is that has caused you to hate yourself or to dislike being multiracial, I say erase that out of your mind, delete it, let it go, Control Alt Delete, get it out of your mind, because you are beautiful, you are perfect the way that you are, and you are the way that God made you. And embrace that. There's so many there's so many things that you can see. I guess if you see life differently, you become something different, So I have little cousins who, don't like their hair. They straighten their hair often and they don't embrace who they are. And I would just tell them, like, your hair makes you beautiful. I love being able to walk into a room and not have anybody that looks like me. Like, you are unique and you are meant to be unique, and just embrace that. Accept who you are. Start all over again and just begin to love yourself, because at the end of the day, you can't change who you are. And you can try to change who you are, but at the end of the day, when you mark on your paper race, you can put white, but you're also black, or you can't put Mexican, but you're also black, or you're also Italian, or you're also, whatever the case may be, you are who you are at the core of you, in your blood. So there's nothing you can do to change them, so just join us. Can't beat them, join them. I don't know if that's good advice, but yeah, just change your perspective, look in the mirror, and just tell yourself, like, I'm beautiful just the way I am. Put down the flat iron, put down, the skin bleach or whatever it is that you're doing, and just love yourself the way that you are. So yeah, that's all with the mix tag. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like this and also ask me any more questions, and if you have any more tag suggestions as well, leave that in the comment box. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to growing with you on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a good day.